Hey everyone, it's Saruke, and today we're gonna do the Q&A for 2K because we hit 2,000 subscribers last week, and that's really cool. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it, and it really makes me happy that someone is enjoying my videos. So what I've done is that in a previous video I asked for some questions. I also asked for questions on Instagram, and I realize now that I probably don't have them in my list, so I'm gonna have to go to Instagram after this and pick those up. And then I've separated these questions into categories, so I have art, character and story, personal, and random. And I'm gonna save character and story for last because that's the category I'm the most excited about. So I'm gonna start with art and just go through these questions because I want to get this done. So, art questions. First one is, have you tried ibisxpaint? I haven't. This is actually the first time I've heard of it, so I guess I'll be checking that out later. Next one, have or would you ever do a collab? I have done a lot of collabs in the past. I used to hang out a lot on DeviantArt, and I used to do collabs with friends over there all the time. Like, we just talk ourselves together, like, I'll draw this. Usually it is that I draw something for them, like their character, and they draw something for me. And then we swap the line arts and color, respectively. And I've done that a lot. In regards to YouTube, I haven't done any collabs, but that's not to say I don't want to do any. It just so happens that I'm an awkward turtle who doesn't know how to talk to people. And there are a lot of people that I would love to do collabs with, but I keep thinking, well, my art style isn't good enough, or our art styles clash too much, and it won't turn out nice, and they probably won't want to do a collab with me anyway because I'm not good enough. And I think a lot of people think like that. But that's why I haven't done any collabs here on YouTube, because I'm awkward and I feel unworthy. Next one, top 2 favorite colors. And blue, Dodger blue, or it's called Micra blue, I think. It's the color they use on Subaru Impreza, the Subaru Impreza car. That color of blue is my favorite blue. My moped also has that color. And then I also really love purple. Metallic finish is great, really bright. Look at my icon, my user icon on any of my social media. Those 2 colors are my favorite colors. What is your favorite thing to watch other artists draw? That one is not easy to answer because it's very specific to each artist that I watch. For example, I really love watching Lee Ellickson draw cute animals because that's something she's really good at. I really like watching Joy Sand draw character drawings because that is something she's really good at, and I really love when she uses watercolor and color pencil together because that's also something she's really good at. So for me, it's very specific to each artist I watch, and not so much about my personal taste because I have a pretty wide spectrum of what I like. If you draw furry stuff, I will watch it because that's something I like in general. Like anything animal, anthropomorphic, anything like that I will watch because that is something I enjoy, regardless of style. But more often than not, it's more specifically about what the specific artist is drawing. So those were the art questions. I'm going to jump down to personal. First, personal. Do you like anime? Yes. I don't know if you can see it in the frame. I think it's a little high. No, you can see it. Down there is my small, but for me, significant manga and manhwa collection. I used to buy manga, a lot of manga, when I was a teenager. It's kind of funny. I haven't bought manga in 10 years, but last week I bought 12 volumes of Boku no Hero Academia. So I might start buying stuff again. But yeah, I really love animu and mango, as I lovingly call it. For anime, I think I've watched between 350 and 400 series, and I've been watching since like 2003, like right when Naruto and Bleach started. So I've had time to watch. So yes, I do like anime. And then we have top 2 favorite anime or movie slash TV characters. This one is very difficult because I don't watch a lot of regular TV anymore. I mostly watch cartoons and, well, Western cartoons and anime. So, and as an adult, I have the issue where I love everyone quite a lot. So I have at least 1 or 2 favorites from every series that I'm really into. And it just, it doesn't work. It's kind of funny how that changed, because as a teenager I had very specifically, in this series, this is my favorite, and in that series, this is my favorite character. And I regarded characters kind of like, these are cool people I'd like to hang out with, like if they were real, I would love to be friends with them. Nowadays, every character is like, you are my child and I need to protect you. It's like, it's what happened. So I love a lot more characters for a lot more reasons, mainly because I'm an adult that wants to protect the children. And yeah, so I have a lot of favorite characters and it's very hard to choose. Boku no Hero Academia is a series I'm really into right now. It's the one I'm actively pursuing, like I'm looking at fan art almost daily and reading fanfiction. Yes, I do that too. Very few though. I don't read that much anymore. But that's also a thing, it goes in waves. So if I can concentrate on Boku no Hero Academia, my top 2 favorite characters are Tokoyami Fumikage and Asui Tsuyu. Those 2 are my favorite from there. But then I love them all a lot. Like, Deku is friggin' adorable, and Katsuki is an ass, but for some reason I like him a little bit too. Urakara, she is so adorable. Stop. Yeah. It's really difficult to pick just 2 through everything. So I'm gonna stop it there because we'll be here all day. Next one is, if you were to describe your current mood with a color, what would it be? Well, my current mood is, I'm hot and sweaty because it's hot and sweaty today. It's been hot and sweaty for like 2 weeks. I hate it. But I also feel kind of awkward because I'm answering questions and I don't know. I'm also sitting in front of the camera, which is something I don't do often these days anymore, and that's also kind of awkward. So awkward, pale yellow, and hot and sweaty. Kind of like a gross orange. Yeah, a gross orange. Not sure what that orange is, but it's a gross one. And pale yellow would probably be my mood color right now. Let's see. And last personal one. Top 3 favorite K-pop groups at the moment. And that one hasn't really changed. For those of you who don't know, I am into K-pop. I've been enjoying it since 2010, 2011, something like that. My number 1 group has and always will be Super Junior. Number 2 has, for a very long time, been Teen Top. Number 3 has gone back and forth a little bit. It's like it's been Zaya, it's been BAP, Shiny, some girl groups. Right now it's VIX. That one is probably the only one that changes from time to time. But yeah, those are my top 3. Super Junior, Teen Top, and VIX. And then we have the random questions that I wasn't quite sure where to put. Have you ever been to Spain? Technically, I haven't been to Spain, but I have been to Mallorca? I've never said that out loud in English. Either way, I've been to that island, and as I've been told, that is sort of part of Spain. So, but I've been to most of the islands and stuff around there, like Cyprus and Turkey. Canary Islands aren't technically there, but it's the European go on vacation for a sunny thing. If you could travel anywhere, where would you go? Well, my number 1 priority is definitely Japan, and number 2 would probably be South Korea, just because it's like close by. I could swing over for a couple of days and just have a look around. Number 3 would be like North America, and to do like a round trip through the States and up to Canada, visit some friends maybe. That would also be a fun thing I want to go travel to. But definitely Japan. If you were a fantasy creature, what creature would you be? I don't think I have a specific fantasy creature in mind. I just want to be some kind of wolf creature, maybe with horns, something like that. Wings, maybe? No, I don't want wings. I don't like flying. But just something wolfy with horns, antlers. I always really liked the forest god from Princess Mononoke to be something like that. That was it for randoms, and now we're going to talk characters and story stuff, because I got a lot of questions about that. And I can't forget to check Instagram. Check Instagram. Actually, let's do that now, just so I don't forget it again. Here's one more art-related thing. Is there any art medium you would like to try out? Screen printing. That's not technically a medium, but it's a technique I haven't tried and I'd love to try it. I follow Diode Press on YouTube, and he does a lot of, like, he carves his own prints, either in linoleum, or most often he uses wood, and he does these really pretty prints. He's done some metal carvings too, and I would love to try something like that. And then they also asked, how do you keep yourself motivated? I think the key for me is to just draw what I want to draw and try not to think about what is popular. Because I've had moments where I've seen like, oh, everyone is drawing K-pop idols, so I should do that too. And sure, I like K-pop, but I don't necessarily like drawing them, mostly because I can't do them justice. So while that stuff is popular and I could probably get a lot of views and likes from drawing K-pop stuff, I don't want to. So, and when I try to force myself to do stuff like that, it just turns into crap anyway. I don't feel like I put effort into it. I don't feel like motivated to do well with that kind of stuff, because it's not what I specifically want to draw. The reason why I want to draw it is wrong. I think that's the thing I struggle with the most, is gaining popularity versus actually doing my thing. So to stay motivated, I've just put down the ground rule that just draw what I want to draw, and that's okay. So now on to character and story stuff. Do you have references for your OCs on Instagram? I don't. Not specific references. I find that Instagram's format is too small for references and stuff. Like, you can't see the details you need to see anyway, so I don't post things like that on there. I have a lot of them on DeviantArt, and I have some on Tumblr, I think. But basically just a sizing issue why I don't post that kind of stuff on Instagram. I still have a lot of artwork of my characters on there though, so if you want to look up a specific character, I have a lot of tags too. If you check tags saru-OCs, you'll get all of my OCs. If you do saru-underscore, not dash, underscore. If you do saru-underscore and then like BNM OCs or II OCs, SNY OCs, FS OCs, and ELE OCs, you'll get specific OCs for specific stories. And then you'll find a lot of pictures of the characters there. So that's kind of like, if you want to look up my characters, you can do it there. But I don't have specific references on Instagram. Next one. Why are your characters so cute? Thank you for thinking they're cute. I think because I like cute stuff. Like, I really love cute stuff. I like making cute things. So I think that's why they're cute. Yeah, they're colorful too. A lot of my characters are very colorful. That's another thing that sort of ups their cute points, is that they're colorful. I like color. Color is fun. Next one. Do you daydream plan out your stories while at work? Sometimes. Most of the time I do it when I'm commuting, because I have 20 to 30 minutes where I'm just sort of biking and I have nothing. I usually listen to music, but sometimes I go around musing about what I need to write or things like that. Talk out dialogue. I do that sometimes where I don't know how to write a dialogue, so I talk it out instead and record while I'm talking. And right now at work, I'm working at a preschool, so I don't technically have a lot of, or I don't really have a lot of time to stand and just think about things, because I kind of have to put my attention outwards. Have you ever thought of making a comic about a story you have in mind? Like, for every story I've made, I've thought, maybe I should make this a comic. But then, Bokura no Monogatari and Ichiban Idol specifically, no, not Ichiban Idol, Elementals. Those two specifically I've thought a lot about, but it's never, they've grown so big, and I really like writing. Like, I like writing stories, but I don't necessarily like drawing pictures and putting dialogue on top of those pictures together. It's difficult. I don't feel like my style of storytelling works for comics necessarily. I do have one sort of short story, a standalone thing idea right now that I want to make into a comic, a really short one. And I've done like 3 draft pages for it so far, so we'll see what happens with that. Who is your favorite OC in each of your stories? You're asking me to pick among my children? Rude! Honestly, I can't, because I like them all for very specific reasons. Okay, we start with Bokura no Monogatari, Tsukino. She is probably my favorite. Like, if I have to rank them, she's probably my favorite, but then I can go on to say it. I like Tsubasa for very specific reasons. I like Sigma for very specific reasons. I like Yoru for very specific reasons. And I can keep on going like that with all of them. In Ichiban Idol, right now I really like Aion, but it's the same thing there. I like Mars and Venus and Haruki, Queen, for very specific reasons too. In Falling Stars, I do think, because I haven't worked that much with them, I do think Ravi and Neela are my favorites there. Mostly because they're the furries. They're the animal characters. If you haven't noticed, I like drawing furry stuff, basically. That's my thing. I have very few anime characters. Unless they're fan characters for anime, specifically. I have very few actual human characters. But yeah, Ravi and Neela from Falling Stars are probably my favorites there, but I like Elias and Nova and Claire too. Freaking Claire and Nova, they're elves. I like those types of characters too. Hello, Jack and Daxter. That was one of my favorite games as a kid. Or tween. I was probably a tween when that came out. What else is there? Elementals. I've always really liked Fear, because he is quite literally on fire. Like, his entire character design, he's on fire. And I've always really liked that, because my younger brother's best friend decided on that look for that character. Elementals is a thing I've had since I was 14, 15. But yeah, Elementals is a thing I've shared with my brother and his best friend for a very long time. And when I made characters, it was actually like a live RPG thing we did together in the forest when we were kids. And then when I decided to make them into characters, I asked them for ideas, basically, and they said, I want this and this and this. And my brother's best friend, Thomas, he wanted a character. He called himself Fear Fox, or Fear the Firefox, or something like that on the internet. Like, that was his nickname, and that just stuck with the character he had. So he has his character is called Fear, and he's on fire. And I just really like that, because personality-wise, Fear isn't a very bold, or, well, he's bold, but he's not loud, he's not energetic, he's very stable, despite being a character who is on fire. So it clashes a lot, and I think that's why I like him so much. But I love Saruke, and I love Corp, and I love Flare too. My children are gonna murder me! Why are you making me do this? And then, Smiling Yankee. I might love Lucas a little bit more than I like Alex, but that's just because he's the shy, awkward type. Yeah, I love Alex too. Then I have 2 other stories, Hazel Dawn, but you haven't seen a third of the characters in that one, so that one isn't necessarily one I should talk about. Rayleigh is from Hazel Dawn, if you've seen her. And Diluted Memories is a very dead project, so that one I don't have to talk about either. My children are gonna come for me tonight. I hope you're happy. Next question. How do you come up with plot lines for your stories? I read a lot and I watch a lot of stuff. So maybe it always starts with a tiny idea. Because I write short story formats, it usually starts, it's like you could make a TV episode out of it. So for day 2 of Bokura no Monogatari, titled Otanjoubi omedetou, I had the initial idea that it's Tsukino's birthday, and Yoru wants to give her a gift. She doesn't want the gift, so he blackmails her into taking it by involving Mayura. Sort of. That was my basic 2-sentence or paragraph idea for that story, and then I wrote it up. Most of my short stories are between 1,000 and 3,000 words, I think. It fluctuates a lot depending on what I'm writing about. So that's sort of how the idea is structured. And then it can be that I read a certain... Fan fictions are also great sources for ideas. That's basically how it works. I'm sorry if it's not detailed enough. What inspires you for your stories? Well, anime, manga, TV, books, fan fiction. I think a lot of fan fiction, actually. I don't read that much, but most of the time the stuff I read is so good I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do something like this for my characters because this suits them really well. Last question. Have you ever thought of doing a boys' love manga story before? I've probably thought about it, but again, comic storytelling doesn't suit the way I tell stories, and I definitely thought about it with Lucas and Alex, but I don't want to put them in that box. I don't. Because it's very... I have a very strong love-hate relationship with shonenai and yaoi and stuff like that, because I've read a lot of it. That type of manga turns gay relationships into a kink for women, and I don't like that. It's very... I don't want to rant, and I don't want to start a war here, but I have very strong feelings about the whole fujoshi yaoi thingu. I don't know how to articulate this well, or formulate what I'm thinking well. This is why it's so choppy, and I'm probably not saying exactly what I mean. But yes, I've thought about writing BL. Will I? Probably not. Not that boys love, because boys love, it's such a wide subject. It's like there's so much in between those two words. I will never write hardcore yaoi because I can't. I just can't. I will not. Shonenai, maybe, but for Lucas and Alex, I don't think I'll ever go there. Like, they're just gonna be... It's probably gonna be short stories, snippet stories. Slice of lifey, the way I like it. And maybe some romance. I don't know. Maybe. It's just the whole boys love thing. I need to... Anyway, I think I have to end this before the camera ends it for me. Yeah, I have 2 minutes. This is kind of a bad way to end a video. If you have more questions that you feel like I didn't answer, put them down below and I'll reply to you in the comments. Feel free. I guess I'll see you again next week for another video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I appreciate it. I love you so, so much. And I hope to see you guys soon. No! Until next time, keep on scribbling, friends. Bye! Okay, let's see. How many of my neighbors will start their lawnmowers before I can even start with this thing? Okay. Hey everyone, it's Saruda, and usually I say Saruke, but apparently I did my old intro. Either way, Saruda, Saruke, Patricia, whatever you want. Scandinavian monkey works too. No, don't stop! He was just rolling around the ground. Yes. Yeah, so maybe you can understand where I'm coming from with that. And I'm watching the most right now. Or the one I'm actively like interested in right now. Like I have a handful that I'm watching, but I haven't really put that much energy into the other series as I have with Boku no Hero Academia. So my top 2 favorite characters in that series in particular are but yeah, so those are